Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session of Lunch and Learn. I am Vicki Patterson. I am filling in for the most awesome Shelly Barnaby. And what we're going to learn today is how to download, install, set up, and fund an Exodus wallet. Now, what is an Exodus wallet and why do you want one? Well, an Exodus wallet is what they call a cold storage wallet. There are hardware wallets, such as a Trezor, and that looks kind of like a USB drive, right? It's just a little piece of hardware where you can store your crypto. So an Exodus is a software cold storage wallet. So it's a place where you can move your coins off of the exchanges, say off of Coinbase, off of CoinSuper and those things, and you store the coins locally in your wallet. And then that way, should the exchange get hacked, you have your coins in your own personal possession and you are more secure. Okay, so right at the very beginning, I do want to let you know that I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. This is simply how to do something that you have already made the decision to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is share my screen. And the first thing that we need to do is go get the wallet. So we're going to take this step by step. So first thing we need to go to is Exodus. And I've been there before, so it automatically pre-filled into exodus.io, which now they have exodus.com. So it automatically redirected. That is perfectly good. You can use either one, exodus.com or exodus.io. I don't want the newsletter at this time. So what I'm going to do is get Exodus now. So I'm going to click over here. And then I want the desktop version because I am on a computer and I'm going to install it here first. So I'm going to download Exodus. And I am on a Windows computer. So I'm going to pick that. And it takes a minute. And we're going to put it in what I call a transient folder so that I can find it easily. Okay. Disregard. Let's put it somewhere else. We'll just put it on the desktop. How's that? That way I can find it. So Exodus dash Windows. Okay, so we're going to download, and then I'm going to tell it to open when done. Takes a minute to download. And it looks like it's done. Oops. No. Don't get click happy. There it is. Cancel. I don't want that. Let's do it again. Or I didn't want the second download, so. So we're going to open up the folder. Maybe. Try it again. Download Windows app. Oh, it is there. Okay, it is on the desktop. So cancel. And then we're going to go to our Explorer. Which I'm trying to pull it open. Apparently I haven't been on this laptop in a little while. I had to change last minute, so it's acting a little funny. So we're going to just minimize everything. And I see that my sharing has stopped. So I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to double click on the desktop icon, and then I'll reshare once it comes up. Okay, so I'm opening. As you should be able to see now, it's installing Exodus. And this does take a minute. How's everybody doing today? Let me see if I can open up the chat. Nope, my chat's not going to open. Oh. Okay, now I've got my chat open. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. And I'm going to pause the recording. Okay, screen sharing has stopped because the window went away. So, but as you can see, if you saw the pop-up, I'm not sure if you were able to see the pop-up, but Exodus has been installed. So let's click on the desktop, and then once that comes up, we will start the screen share again. Zoom recording, and let's share the screen. Here we go. This is what we've been looking for. So I'm going to have to edit this recording and get rid of all that other garbage. But if you can see this screen, so we have the Exodus wallet now, and it's offering me shares, which I'm not really interested in at this point. So I'm just going to X out of it. And we're going to set it up so that we can restore this wallet. And what that means is, should this particular computer where it's installed take a nosedive, somebody spills a Coke on it, or it falls off the back of a pickup truck or something like that, as long as you have the access, the 12-word recovery phrase, you can then install it on any other computer, multiple computers if you want, as long as you have this backup. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do, and I'm going to keep sharing and recording for the first couple of words to show you how it works. So this is what I recommend. You write these down manually with pencil and paper. So as you see the words, write them down manually on a piece of paper. Don't put them on your computer. Don't put them in a Word document or anything like that. Because why? Because if you get a virus or somebody puts a worm on your computer, they can go into every single file that you have on your computer and cause you a lot of harm, right? So sometimes the best way to be high tech is to be low tech. So we're going to record these 12 words, and I believe it gives them to you one at a time. So Exodus is going to restart, and it's going to ask me to input a recovery phrase. This may take a few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to restart. And because the app that I was sharing went away, the screen sharing stopped. And let me set this up. it's asking for my 12-word phrase, but I don't have the 12-word phrase yet. Maybe I did this wrong. We stop to share and pause. Okay, so we're going to make our first deposit. And it defaults to Bitcoin, of course, because Bitcoin is the Mac Daddy of all cryptocurrencies, right? And it just so happens that Bitcoin is the one that I want to do. So I'm going to tell it, if you've never done this before, I'll explain it as we go. If you are familiar with crypto and you've done it before, then this should just be a refresher, right? So the easiest way that I like to explain how to move crypto is think of sending a letter to your best friend. You take out the envelope and you need to know where you're sending it, right? So you need an address, and that address will determine where the letter is going. In this case, the address is going to determine where the Bitcoin is going. So I need an address to send to. So here I want to receive Bitcoin. So I'm going to hit receive, and it's going to generate for me an address to send the money to, right? So here is an address, and you have a couple of options. If you're doing it on the computer, or maybe you're on a Zoom with somebody, you can copy and paste, and that works. Or if you're using an app with your phone, you can actually scan this QR code. So I'm going to do the easy way, and I'm going to use my phone. So I'm going to go to my Coinbase, and I just want to send a very little bit to show you how this works, right? So I'm going to go to send, and I'm going to say, let's do $25. So I'm going to do $25, and I'm going to say continue. And I don't want to send it to a friend. And you can't see this right now, but it does ask me to select recipient. And then over here, it has the little symbol for the QR code. So I'm going to hit that, and then it brings up a square, and I'm going to scan the QR code that's on my computer right now. Okay, so I'm going to scan it. This doesn't look like a Bitcoin address. Are you trying to send? Okay, let's do the other one then. If you click on the right arrow here, that is also a Bitcoin address going to the same wallet, but you notice it starts with a 1, and that is a SegWit wallet. Okay, and that's also telling me it doesn't look like a Bitcoin address. I think maybe because of my reflection. All right, let's do it the old-fashioned way then. So we're going to go back, and we're going to copy that address. And I'm going to minimize this. Okay, so we're going to do that. I'm going to stop my share and reshare so that you can see the screen I'm looking at now. And we're going to go to Coinbase. Takes a second to log in. And remember, I've already copied the address from Exodus. Well, come on. Okay, two-step verification. Oh. All right. I'm going to pause my share while I go to my email. So one thing that Coinbase does, and I'll explain it, I'll go ahead and explain it, is if you're on a new computer or you haven't used a computer for a while, or if you have to clear your cache or you turn on a VPN, anything like that, where Coinbase thinks that you've never used this computer before, it's going to do this. It's going to send you an email to the email that's on your account, and you have to access that email from the same computer. Okay, so that's what that message said. And so I am now logging into my email. And we're just learning all kinds of things about computer security today, aren't we? So I'm logging in. And Apple now is sending me a verification code. Okay, clicking on the email. Coinbase, new device confirmation. And I think you should be able to see the email when it pops up. All right, so there's my email from Coinbase, and it says new device access. I authorize this computer. Yes. So now we're going back to Coinbase, and it's going to let me in. Thank you for your patience. I don't know why this thing is running so slow today. Okay, so let me move my meeting controls out of the way. So I want to send and receive. So I'm going to go to send. And I want to send $25 because this is just to get it started. To, here's the where we put the address in. So I'm going to paste the address that I've already copied. And then I personally like to verify the first few digits and the last few digits. So BC1Q, and UA64E. So I'm going to jump over back to my Exodus wallet, BC1Q, UA64E. Okay, so we're good there. And optional message, I'm going to say set up new Exodus wallet or Ruby. And I'm going to pay with Bitcoin. Okay. Oop. Ah, okay. Point. If you click off of it, you lose it. So now I got to do it again. Send and receive. Ugh, I was just trying to scroll down. 25. To the same address, BC1Q, UA64E, optional message, set up new Exodus wallet for Ruby, Bitcoin, and I'm going to continue. All right, so I'm sending actually $24.99 because, you know, depending on the exchange. And Coinbase shows you the fees, most do. So Coinbase shows you the fees. Coinbase does not charge a fee for this, but there is a network fee or the gas, right? Because you have to pay the miners and the computers that are going to confirm these transactions on the blockchain. So this is what the network fee looks like, and I'm actually going to have $27.02 worth of value that's going to be deducted from my account. So there's our disclosures. I'm good with it. So I'm going to send now. Okay, and again, two-step verification. And confirm. Okay, so I just sent $24.97 to that address. Transaction usually takes less than 10 minutes. So I'm going to say done. And if I look now in my history, if I look at Bitcoin, over, okay, portfolio. Okay, bought Bitcoin. Oh, that was a couple days ago. Sent Bitcoin, so it's showing me the confirmation. If I click on it, I've got, there's the address, my note that I added, the price at the time, how many confirmations it has. I just did it, so it doesn't have any. That was the fee. And once it settles and I click on view transaction, I will see the actual, what they call the hash ID or the transaction hash. So that's your confirmation. That's your proof positive that the money that you sent went, right? So it's just like if you pay a bill with a paper check and somebody says, I didn't get it, but you've got the canceled check with their signature on it, that's your proof, right? So this transaction ID, that's your proof. So right now it's pending, so I won't have a transaction ID just yet. But if I go to my Exodus wallet, and so there's the address, and that address stays the same. So you can use it repeatedly, right? Back and forth, back and forth. So if you're making multiple deposits or if somebody owes you payments, they can set up a recurring payment for you. So I'm going to get out of there, and looky there, $24.99 has already landed in my wallet. So that is, and it's showing pending. Now, another thing that I like about Exodus, just like I was able to put a little personal note on the Coinbase side, you can also put a personal note in your Exodus wallet. So right here, personal note. So I can say, from Vicki Patterson Coinbase. So that way I can match up the transactions if I ever need to, right? Or where did that $25 come from? Because remember, all it is a bunch of numbers. So it's not like on the back of a paper check, you can see what bank it went through. So this is just another little thing. Oh, okay. I apologize. The share is still on my Coinbase. Let me fix that. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's stop that and we'll reshare. And we'll go to Exodus. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now you should be seeing my Exodus wallet. So let me take a step back then since I failed to share it properly. So you can see that 24.97 landed, and this is how much it was in Bitcoin. So 000 and then 400011. Okay, 24.97. So if I come down here and there's an expansion arrow. So just like I did on Coinbase, over here on Exodus, you can also put a personal note. So it helps you keep track, because I have used other exchanges and stuff where you just see the money coming and going. And, you know, when you look at it 6 months, a year later, you're like, man, what did I do with that $1,400? Where did that go? And you have no, I mean, obviously at the time you knew what you were doing, but this way, if you put a personal note in there, then it helps it later on when you're doing an audit or when you're checking on things. So, so that gives you the time to make a personal note. And you can see this was received 3 minutes ago, and it is still showing as pending. And that's okay. Once we get enough confirmations out on the blockchain, then it'll show as settled. And actually, it looks like it already has settled. So it's really that easy. Now, what we want to do is set up our security. Okay, so we're going to create a password. In this instance, I'm going to go ahead and stop the share for a second. I'm going to set up a password. And it's asking me to do it again, so I'm going to put it in. Next. Okay. Okay, now I do want to show you this part, at least part of it. So this is what I was talking about earlier. So you see how it says, right? This is the recovery phrase that I was talking about earlier. Your 12-word recovery phrase allows you to recover your wallet in case you ever lose access to it. Like I said, so if this computer dies or gets damaged or whatever, I don't lose my money. Write down the words in the correct order from 1 to 12 and store them somewhere safe. Anyone with your recovery phrase can spend your funds. Do not show it to anyone. And then right here, it's hard to read. Your secret recovery phrase is hidden for security. Mouse over the numbers to reveal. So let me show you how this works. So if I hover over 1, I see the word paper. So I'm going to write down 1, and notice it's all lowercase paper. When I hover over 2, it's bar. Really simple words, okay? But it's 12 words. And that is what makes it difficult and almost impossible to guess. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share and continue that part of setting it up. And then that's it. Now you have your Exodus wallet set up. It's on your computer. You have the recovery phrase. And then another security step that I was taught, and it really, really comes in handy, is, remember I said at the beginning to write it down with pencil and paper, correct? So what I do is make 2 copies of your recovery phrase. So those, once I write down all 12 words, I'm going to write it down, and then I'm going to make another list, manually write it down. And then one list goes here in my binder where I have all my crypto stuff. And then the other list goes to a trusted third party that doesn't live here. Okay, that way if my house burns down or a tornado hits or something like that, I still am able to recover all of my crypto. And you know, we like to think that it'll never happen to us, but I live just outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and last Easter we had a bunch of tornadoes come through, and a buddy of mine that my husband and I personally know, his house got destroyed, and it was just like that. So highly, highly recommend that you, anything that has to do with your financial security and crypto, whether it's your QR codes for your two-factor authentication, whether it's this 12-word recovery phrase, make a duplicate copy and then send it to somebody else's house. I have a little file folder, and anytime I do something like this, I just make sure that it goes in my binder and then the file folder at somebody else's house. So I hope this was helpful. We do have a work it out session here at the top of the hour. If you have any questions or if you have anything that you want help with, I'm going to go ahead and put the URL to that in the chat. PhoenixRisingTeam.com. So at the top of the hour at 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time, we do have a work it out session where you can hop in. It's not a webinar, it's a meeting. You can come on camera, ask your questions, and get help if you need anything. So I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, you can hop on the work it out session. And I'm going to end this recording and say